Hi everyone, I'm Betty, and today I'm going to interview about the MEXT Scholarship, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology Scholarship, which is given by the MEXT Japanese government. Now I'm here with experienced students, Kang-soo.
Hello everyone, my name is Kang-soo Nguyen. I am a MEXT scholarship student and I finished my master's and PhD degree with the MEXT scholarship, and now I'm a project researcher at the Department of Global Health Policy in the University of Tokyo. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. So let's get started the interview. First of
Yeah, let's
all,
get started.
how did you know about the MEXT Scholarship and what makes you apply for this?
For me, it's quite different from others. I got that information from my grandma. At that time, my grandma lived in the same building with the Maja office. And then she told me that there is a scholarship opportunity for studying in Japan and I should apply for it. And thanks to my grandma, I applied for MEXT scholarship, and luckily I got a scholarship and I had a chance to come and study in Japan.
Oh, so you get to know about the MEXT Scholarship by your grandma.
Yeah,
Uh,
my grandma. And then I want to add one more thing. At the time, Myanmar is in the transition stage, and then the health system in Japan is one of the good in the world. So I also want to learn about health system in Japan. So in my mind, I have a passion to study in Japan and to learn about the proper healthcare system. And when I heard from my grandma that that kind of opportunity that I can get it from the Japanese embassy, so it's kind of good timing for me to apply for the MEXT scholarship.
so could you please tell me how many types of recommendations are there in the MEXT Scholarship, and among those types, which one is most likely to be accepted?
Normally, there are two kinds of recommendation for MEXT scholarship: university recommendation and embassy recommendation. And for me, I apply for the embassy recommendation. I think, how can I say, it depends on the way that you are approved to the scholarship. So if you have a good connection with the Japanese university, and if you have a good relationship with the Japanese professor, and if he or she is willing to provide an acceptance letter for you, you can apply for the university recommendation. And during my time, I applied from the embassy recommendation. So I applied through the major, and then I got an acceptance letter from the embassy. At that time, I contact with the university, and then I got an acceptance letter from the professor, and I submitted it to the university, and then I got it. I got a MEXT scholarship by embassy recommendation. And under the embassy recommendation, I think there are four categories: research student, undergraduate study, and then technical college, and then language teacher training. So for me, I apply for the research student as I have a degree and as I finish my undergraduate level in Myanmar.
Can you please tell me how can we apply for embassy recommendations here in Myanmar?
You can apply through the major. Normally, major announce the MEXT scholarship application around March, April, May. It depends on the timing. Yeah, around March, April, May, major will announce the MEXT scholarship for invite for the application for the MEXT scholarship, and then at the time you can apply for it. So try to look at the Maja Facebook page or Maja website around March, April, May.
So we can apply this uh, scholarship from Maja.
Yeah, you can apply it through Maja.
Could you please tell me the general requirements for the MEXT scholarship?
It depends on which category you're going to apply. For me, I apply for the research student, so I can only share about my experience for the research student. If you want to apply for the research student category, you need to have an undergraduate degree, like the Bachelor in Arts BA or Bachelor in Science BSc or MBBS or BE. So you need to have that kinds of bachelor degree, and then uh, you need to have a strong passion what kind of research you want to do in Japan, and you need to have some English level. So that are the basic things that you need to have to apply for MEXT research student category through embassy recommendation.
So I really want to know this one.
Yeah.
Uh, did you take any tuition or did you just study yourself for exam?
During that time, there were no tuition for MEXT scholarship, and I think it was not so popular like nowadays. So for me, I just practiced some TOEFL and IS questions, and then I took the entrance exam from major and Japanese embassy. So if you have some level of English, I think you can handle the mass entrance exam written test.
Oh, I see. So you just study yourself and how did you prepare for exam? Like, what is your study method and study resources, and how long did it take for you to fully prepare?
How can I say? Um, I for me, I try to improve my English level every day. So I watch movie and I listen to some English songs, and then I try to challenge myself with some uh some IS and TOEFL questions. So if you prepare IS and TOEFL very well, you can definitely handle the next entrance exam. I don't have that kinds of proper study method, but every day I try to improve some of my skill. Yeah, language, that kinds of things. But uh I don't have a proper study method.
I see. So you try to improve by uh, preparing those IELTS and TOEFLs.
TOEFL. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, by preparing IS and TOEFL, you can apply not only MEXT scholarship, you can also apply for other scholarship. So you don't need to prepare definitely for the MEXT.
so
You
what
just
are
need
the
mm,
yes, we just need
yeah,
to
you just need to improve your English language level to some extent, and you can apply any scholarship. That's my theory.
okay, so what is the difference between your expectations and reality during your exam and interview?
I thought that the question would be more difficult and more technical, but in reality, it's not that much difficult and that much technical. So if you have a general knowledge and if you have a general sense, you can definitely handle the entrance exam and also the interview.
Uh, are English and Japanese language are essentials for mass scholarship?
Mm, I would like to say English is essential, but for Japanese, it's kind of optional depend on your field of study. If you want to study about the Japanese literature, Japanese culture that are really you can only study in Japanese language. For sure, you need to have a Japanese language proficiency. But if you want to study for engineering, business, or medical science or medicine, that kinds of thing, you don't need Japanese level. But if you have a JLPT score, it will be an advantage.
Oh, okay, so English is essential, but Japanese is optional. It's okay
Yeah,
if you don't have any certificates for Japanese.
Yeah, it's okay. And it's also okay if you don't have any certificate for English.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
need to show IS or TOEFL certificate. You just need to show you have an ability to study in English in your field of study.
Could you please tell me what are the most difficult things in your category research student?
Mm, for me, the most challenging thing is getting accepted letter after getting result from the embassy. So the embassy contacted me. I have been preliminary selected and I need to submit an acceptance letter from the university. So during my time, I haven't done proper research about the Japanese university. So it's kind of rush for me to find a appropriate professor, appropriate department, and to get an acceptance letter. So if you want to apply for the MEXT scholarship for research student category, it's better to learn about the Japanese university and field of study first, and then try to contact with the department and the professor first, so you can avoid the kinds of stress like me.
Let's move on to another question. So, what are the
Yeah.
things to avoid during the exams and interviews?
Um, I think it's better not to argue with the interviewer. And if you cannot understand their question, you can just simply ask to clarify the questions. And then I think it's better, most of your answer should be natural, not too extreme, and easy to understand. And it's better not to use the technical jargon because interviewer are different background from you, so they cannot understand if you use the technical jargon. So keep it simple and then present it simple and humble way to the interviewer.
So, in your opinion, what are the most important things to get a math scholarship?
The most, I think, is passion. If you have a passion, you can create some unique research proposal, so that is quite easy and confidence for you to present your idea and your proposal to the interviewer, and also quite easy for you to communicate with the professor to provide an acceptance letter. So the most important thing is the passion. So try to find your passion and try to learn about which university, which department, which field of study that you would like to proceed for your further studies.
So, for the another questions, I think this one, most of the people want to know about this. Can math scholarship students work for a part-time job?
Of course, yeah, we can do for a part-time job. And then I suggested all my junior to do for a part-time job. You can learn a lot from your part-time working experience.
So, at last, but definitely not least, what are your general suggestions for newcomers who want to apply for the math scholarship?
My general suggestion is try to improve your language skill, English and also Japanese, and then try to find your passion and try to improve your communication skill and presentation skills. And then try to be inquisitive. So try to find every opportunity as much as possible.
So, I think that's all what people want to know. Thank you for giving your precious time by joining with me for the interview.
I'm also happy to share my experience, and I hope it might be somehow helpful for the new applicant.